Very good morning to the members of the induction furnaces fraternity, the panelists present here, the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. The session ahead will be a discussion on decarbonization and the road to net zero. Although these are the buzzwords nowadays, I believe it is important to explain them in simple terms for those who are not aware of them. Decarbonization is the act of reducing the carbon dioxide emissions from any process. Net zero, on the other hand, means the act of nullifying the emissions of carbon dioxide by capturing the gases present in the atmosphere. अपने धंधे में जैसा बोलते हैं कि आवक और जावक एक बराबर करना. So as we are all aware, one of the major reasons for climate change is emission of greenhouse gases that primarily consists of CO2 and other gaseous compounds. To address this issue of global warming, countries of the world came together and framed the Paris Climate Change Policy of 2015. Under this policy, all the countries have pledged to take measures that will restrict the rise of temperature in the atmosphere to not more than 2 degrees by the end of this century, that is year 2100. India, under the leadership of Modi ji, has set an optimistic target of decarbonization by meeting 50% of its energy demands from renewable energy by year 2030. On the pathway to net zero, we have committed to achieve the net zero emissions by 2070. What does this mean for the steel industry? The steel industry contributes to around 10% of the total carbon emissions. Although steel is a necessary driver of economy for any developing stage economy, steel production now will have to be more sustainable in order to meet the commitments made by the Honorable Prime Minister on the global stage. Our strengths as recyclers of scrap is that we are already less dependent on iron ore and coal to meet our demands of raw material. Recycling of scrap is in fact being chosen worldwide as the way forward towards a greener future. Countries like Japan have banned export of scrap in order to ensure that the scrap gets consumed for domestic steel production. When it comes to rolling operations, majority of us are doing direct rolling or hot charging as we call it, which again reduces dependence on coal, gas or furnace oil for reheating. This makes our manufacturing processes very clean. However, there is a lot more that can be done on the pathway to carbon neutrality. In the session ahead, our panel of experts will throw some light on how we can address the issue of carbon emissions and the way forward. I am Anuj Bansal, the moderator for the discussion ahead. The flow of the program will be as follows. Each panelist will make an introductory remark for 5 to 7 minutes on their respective domain, and the session will be opened up for questions after that. Well, before we begin the session, I would like to humbly seek a privilege from the panelists. Sir, please allow me to interrupt you when the time runs out. This will help us to manage the time and give every panelist a fair chance to present their case. So let us start by welcoming Dr. P.R. Swaroop, who is the Director, CIDC, and has worked extensively on green hydrogen. You can take it from there. Mics.